Can you see what the Lord has done? What we waited for has come to pass. See what the Lord has done. On your wedding day, you're gonna sing that. Can you see what the Lord has done? When you walk into that property, can you see what the Lord has? When that healing happens, what we've been praying for, He has brought to pass. See what the Lord has done. If I were you, I'll sing it to someone. I'll just sing it to someone. Say, see what the Lord has done. Can you see? See what the Lord has done. What we've waited for has come to pass.
So tumekuja kuongelea kitabu yenye imeandikwa na we welcome kwa market. Imekuwa tu kwa laptop yake. Sasa imekuwa kitabu. So tunafurahia sana kuwa hapa. So Steve ametoka kidogo, lakini nilikuwa nataka atuambie about the space that we are in, because we're in a special place. If you look around, there's a lot of history on the walls. Kuna mambo mingi happen hapa. Steve atakuja atuongelesha kidogo, atuambie about what the venue is about, na pia as the host atuambie karibu na atuambie ziko wapi choo. So in the meantime, before Steve comes back and handle the electricity bit, naomba, so before a book becomes a book, kuna njia mbili unaweza tumia. You can either just write it yourself and decide just to publish by yourself, but you can also come to us. For me, just introduce. My name is Amos Mworia. I work for Mystery Publishers. I'm the first editor that Amos talked to. And yeah, basically my work is just that, to guide the process from what the author brings mpaka ikuwe kitabu. So that is my role, to make sure kitabu imekuwa kitabu. So fantastic. Unanisikia? Fantastic. So make sure kitabu imekuwa kitabu. So for us as mystery publishers, we help self-publishing authors to make sure ile kitabu inafika to the market ama to the end. Ni kitabu nzuri. It's a good book. It looks good. It reads well, and it is a book that can sell. So that is what we do at Mystery Publishers, but that is a very short version. So I'm going to invite Bwana Vincent to tell us a bit more about that. Karibu sana. Makofi yakikuja.
So good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. Naitwa Vincent Dipol. Wamanaita kitu ya kwanza. Ukiangalia pale utaona vitabu kadhaa nimeandika. Total nimeandika 19 books. Naandika creative fiction only for entertainment. So utapatana na vitabu zangu kwa shule ama nikienda kwa Ministry of Education kusema please take my books. So that is me. We work with Omoyo for Mystery Publishers, bringing books to life. Na imekuwa a long journey with this time. Actually, we have the book there. We are ready to launch it. So I'll talk briefly about mystery publishers. Kazi yetu vile the editor wa Moyo amesema, it is to help you publish a professional book. You can do it yourself, but it will not be professional in terms of editing, cover design, and other industry standards. There are interior layout and design. So that is where we come in. So we're going to have two options. Unaweza pelekea Longhorn publishers, East African publishers, any other big publisher. They will not ask you anything in terms of payment. They will invest in your book. Lakini watakuwa wanaangalia this book ikisha tunapeleka for education. The other route ni ile Amos alichukua, and that is where we come in, self-publishing. So we offer all of this publishing, ya vitabu. We do audiobook if you want a narrated book. We do writing courses. We have Mystery Writing Academy. So far we have 40 students. 10 of them have graduated and went ahead to write. Next year we are celebrating 10 years since Mystery Publishers was started, and all our services will be celebrating different anniversaries. Like the academy will be celebrating 5 years. We have a book prize whereby tunasoma kitabu, tunasema this is one of the best books, tunakupea book prize. Nayo tutakuwa combine next year. So next year we have many opportunities for any author who would like to participate. If you would like to register for creative writing, we are open up to January 31st. You register for creative writing course, and then when you are done, you write a book. When you write that book, we will publish it free of charge from next year. That is part of celebrating our 10 years. So in a nutshell, that is what we do. Creative writing classes, publishing, audiobook publishing, and the last one, the anthology. We call on to writers every year to submit their stories, and we publish them free. Actually, we pay them for submitting their stories to us. So that is what we do. We are happy to see you Mworia participate in this book launch, and we are looking forward to hear especially the discussion about this book. For those who are in programming industry, profession, it is a very good book. Kama unajua mtu ambaye rafiki yako, family member ambaye anapenda programming, get a copy of the book and help them improve their skills in programming. So thank you very much. Welcome, and we are looking forward to hear your discussions. Thank you.
That is not a distance. Now I'm going to invite Steve to come and tell us a bit about the venue and also to welcome us to the venue.
Good morning. It's not morning, it's afternoon. We're headed to evening. At least I've gotten one client who has said good morning. God is good. Bwana asifiwe. I'm called Pastor Steve Owino. I'm the host. I work here, and I know most of you have not been here before. Maybe it's your first time to be here. You are wondering, hapa ni wapi? So this is called August 7th Memorial Park, and most people call it August. So this place was built by a group of like-minded people who wanted to show respect to those who lost their lives. They are called the Trust. And their name is driven from the day this place was affected. So it's August 7th Memorial Trust. It's run by the Trust, and these facilities that we hire out are the main sources of income. So you are the CEO. Whoever pays to to hold the meeting here is the CEO. That's why we must treat you with due respect. And we have got these spaces down here, 10,000 half day, 15,000 full day. We have a conference room on top of this room now. Boardroom, 5,000 half day, 500 full day. 8 of the rooms at the garden. It's good, you can see an event there. Those are CEOs. They are ensuring this park exists by making it busy. So I welcome you to this park. You are our next client. Tell your neighbor you are his next client. So I expect to see you soon to do a booking, kufanya hiyo harusi yako, mipango ifanywe hapa, alafu pastor yuko hapa atakushikanisha bure. I will join you for free because we want the kingdom of God to be populated. Otherwise, thank you very much. Thank you.
Alright, so the main focus of the event is this book, and to bring that even more alive, we have organized a beautiful panel discussion. So this part of the event is not mine. I'm going to hand it over to the moderator. That he's going to call his people. Do you know them? Fantastic. So he's going to call his people. So I'm officially handing it over for the next. Yes. So for the next, atatuambia the stop saa ngapi? Karibu sana.
Mic check. Welcome today to the book launch of Python Mastery. So my name is Vanik Semyotoki. I have been an implementer. I don't know why our screen is dancing. Sorry? Programming, what is that? And then the next question is, what is Python?
Okay, programming is the process of writing instructions that makes the computer to do something. And there are some of the things that are involved are design, coding, testing, and debugging. While coding, it is just actual implementation of the instructions that the computer can understand.
Yeah. So that's a good definition of coding. So you're saying coding is basically, we are telling the computer, do these steps, and these steps will have an effect in the real world. What about Python? Why is this book called Python Mastery?
Okay, Python is one of the programming languages. It is a general purpose programming language, and it is a high-level programming language. Okay, what you do, you have your own thoughts. What you want to do with the computer, the idea that you want to implement. Then that thought you need to convert it into a high-level programming language, and then from the high-level programming language, you need to convert it into low-level programming language. That is the language that the computer understands. That is one and the zeros.
So from what we're understanding from Amos is that Python is like English. You use English to communicate a message to the computer, and the computer knows what to do. So I want us to stop there because we're going to get to understand more. But I need us as the audience to do something for me. I've put a QR code here. The reason I have this QR code is because I need you guys to scan it. And it will ask you to give your name, your phone number, and your favorite color. The reason we want to do that is because we're going to use that to allow us to understand what programming is. So it's a very essential part. You can either scan or go to the URL at the top. So whichever works for you. So please do it.
I will know who has not done it. So, the information we get here will not use it anywhere else, so it will be secure, it's private. So, yes, we need at least 7 of us. So, as we are doing that, please do it, we need those details. So, oh yes.
My favorite color is not here.
Then choose the one you like among that one. Choose the one you like. If you can't, then your URL is at the top. At the top, you can just type it. bit.amos-mworia. So please put in your phone number. We shall be using that to allow us to understand this idea of programming. So Amos, to your next question. So help us understand what motivated you to write the book in the first place. Like, many people write books, but we never really know what motivated them. Help us understand where you are.
Okay, my main objective, I wanted individuals to be able to have their own ideas and then implement them using a programming language. And in this programming language, it is that you need to understand the concepts that are used generally in the language. And then that enables you to develop skills. You are able to solve problems or an idea that you want them to implement.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good motivation. So the main idea of the programming language is that, or rather the book is that anyone who gets the book can be able to then learn from the book how to be able to apply it in their day-to-day life. Okay, that's wonderful. So how many of us have, not everyone has to read, but how many have been able to fill that form? One, yeah, one person. Okay. By any chance, did you receive an SMS afterwards? You should have received an SMS. I see Carol. Carol has received an SMS. I see Denver. So you receive an SMS, basically, you'll get it. But just wait. Yeah. So we want to dive into to understand essentially what this book is about. There's a bit of feedback. So, and this, our fellow panelists will be able to introduce themselves and guide us. So, Python is a programming language. Can you help us as an audience understand how do we see this programming language affecting us in day-to-day life? Are there things we are doing that are actually affected by Python?
Okay, good evening everyone. Good evening once again. You can hear me, right? Yeah. According to the response you've given, you can hear me is what you are here to speak talking about. Just a lot, like English. The way you can hear me, if I switch the link over to Swahili, come up with an visa, then that already means that this is a language and some mode of communication. That's why you are here. My name is Denver Mulecho. I'm a cybersecurity engineer and a software developer. And Python is one of my best programming languages so far yet. So I have a good experience. So
So just before you hand over the microphone, so he mentioned a very important thing. How many are familiar with the term ChatGPT? It's very popular. I mean, if you haven't heard about it, we don't know where you have been. So ChatGPT is actually built on top of Python. So whenever you're doing an assignment and you don't know how to finish it, the thing that is actually helping you finish the assignment, as Denver mentioned, is ChatGPT. So maybe Denver, you can explain to us how do the builders of ChatGPT use Python? What are they actually doing to use Python to achieve that?
Oh, okay, good. Artificial intelligence is, as we can both agree, it's a rapid growing topic that we hear every day. So there are a lot of people who are creating different models for different purposes. In agriculture, people are coming out with robotics that they can be able to tell the farmer that this is a suitable soil for growing cabbage, not maize. A model that can be able to teach students, for example, I've come across other agents that are able to tell students that this time around we are supposed to be doing this, and at your age, this is what you need to be covered. So how does Python come into integrate it? So we use Python to create these agents. For example, we collect a lot of data, then we use Python to analyze this type of data, for example, the feedback that has been given to our code. So the feedback we also collect before we come up with the
compared to other languages that were used in past. First, when we have the project kind of web development, it is much easier using some of its libraries like Django, Flask. It's much fast compared to using Java and C++. The other thing, it also, like in data science, Python is fast. It's very much fast compared to other languages. Yeah, basically what I'm trying to say, it says Python, when you are developing modern web applications, it's much better compared to other languages. For example, when we build front-end and back-end, we need something called application APIs, which we connect, which help us connect front-end and back-end. We use a library like Flask to build APIs, which is more fast compared to others.
Thank you for that one. So, from what I'm hearing from you is, especially now as a student, Python is an easier programming language to use when you want to build a software. Okay, that's very useful to know. So, I just want to check in with my audience. I asked you guys to put in your details here. I have checked some of you have received an SMS, is that correct? So, as the SMS told you, your favorite color. You've seen it? I've seen it. You've also got it? So, we will get to a stage where we want to see the power of Python. So we'll get to a place where we get to see the power of Python. But I just want to make sure that we all got the SMS. So the next question I would like to ask, and this is just to Amos, is in your experience, you can also switch on the mic. How has Python as a programming language become useful for your day-to-day work? So, you mentioned that you've been working in the networking field. How has Python become useful in that area?
Okay, the Python programming language can be used in the side of networking, whereby
So Python is actually a thing you actually use in your work day in and day out. Okay, thank you for that one. So we have seen so far that Python is something that actually has impact in the world. We now want to understand what is this thing that Amos has written in his book. We want to understand a few things, and I need you guys to do something for me. So I'm going to, for those who received an SMS, for those who are still walked in, I've been asking my guests to scan this code. So if you can, please, so that you can be with us. So I'll ask you guys to send in an SMS of that number. So as the mic on, yeah, let's go. So I want you guys to go to, when you receive the SMS, that number you received the SMS from, I need you to respond with tip 1. Then say, give me a tip. TIP number 1. No space. So we're going to use that to, in a way, move together. Okay? Tip 1. So I'm inviting Denver to... I continue. Okay, thank you. So we now want to dive into some of the key concepts that I talked about in the book. So we're not going to make it very complex. We're going to take a very simple approach, okay? So don't feel nervous. So let me give a quick summary. We've learned how Python, where Amos came from with Python. We've learned how Python as a language is effective in the world. Now we want to understand what is the thing that somebody does in Python to actually achieve the goals that we want to do. So Python has building blocks. So some of you may ask, what do we mean by building blocks? A building block is, think about this building. This building, I guess at the gym kama one stone was not put in front of another. So with Python as a language, it's really the same thing. So today we want to talk about 4 building blocks, and our panelists will help us understand those building blocks. Again, these building blocks is what Amos has really talked about in his book. But our gentleman here will help us understand. So Denver will allow us to, will guide us through our first building block, which is called expressions. So please tell us what expressions are and how expressions as a building block applies in the real world, especially in the context of Python as a programming language.
Thank you, Anthony. The building blocks of Python. The first one that has been written in Amos' book is called expressions. Expressions are these are the building blocks of a larger module. For example, these are parts that doesn't appear in the code, but the code helps you to get it. For example, if you are doing math, if you have a value like 1 plus 1, what is 1 plus 1? Yeah, 1 plus 1 is 2. So in the code, we don't have the 2 as part of the code. So the code is written to execute a value of 1 plus 1, which gives us the response as 2. So that is where we interact with it in our day-to-day life. For example, when you are working, the salary, how your salary is processed from day to day. If there is this certain amount of money, you have 50,000. You have 50,000 in the bank. You want to withdraw. Maybe let's say 20,000. So this program helps you to subtract 50 minus 20. Then the remaining one is there. But like these are just the simple day-to-day life that it helps you to come up with an argument at the end.
Okay, maybe help us understand a bit more. So for example, something like many people use Uber as an application. How will something that happens in the application called Uber be expressed in Python? What would somebody be writing in the Python language to show as an expression, as a statement, as an example?
Yeah. When you have your
So, for example, we had talked to the panelists on how we can do an example of a statement, an expression, and then I can be able to point out. Then, would it be correct never to assume that, for example, being able to retrieve data from a database is a valid expression? Would that be like a valid expression? Like saying, asking the database, give me this information?
Yes.
Yeah. So, what we can do here as a demo to explain what demo is talking about, you guys have sent an SMS. So we want to find out, okay, who are these people who have sent the SMS? So as part of the SMS, so if I run, give me your image. Demos that never work in real world, in the real world. Help us get to many people to get paid their salary.
Well, yeah, it can help with increment of salaries depending on the level and groups of their.
Yeah. Okay. So our audience has asked us to send in the next SMS because we want to summarize what we are learning. For those who sent tip 1, you should have received an SMS summarizing what Denver shared. For tip 2, please send tip 2 to get a summary of what Dominic has shared. And you receive a summary explaining that so that even if the concept is a bit difficult to understand, you can go back and get it understand. So I want us to move to the next building block. So the first building block was expressions. The next one is loops. Loops is basically if I have 100 people, can I do the same action for 100 people? Now, Amos will take us through the next building blocks. So the next building block here is what are called conditions or conditionals. And then the last one is functions. So, but let's start with conditionals.
Okay, conditional enables us to do something if the condition is true. Like if it is false, we have alternatives. Examples of that is like if we believe, we have the code. Okay. The other one is if else. If we believe, we have the code. Else, we wear. Okay. If we believe, we wear the code. Else, we walk outside the church.
Thank you for that one. I would like to engage the audience on that particular thing. So we had sent our SMSs. We had sent our prompt. Sorry. Maybe reduce the gain of the mic. So we want to demo. Yes.
Okay, I wanted just to additional explaining the simple case scenario. For example, in a park, when you go to the ATM card, you place it in the ATM machine. So when if your name, if your PIN number is correct, you will get the money, right? If your PIN number is wrong, it gives you 2 more attempts. And the third one, if you continue pressing and it's giving you a wrong PIN, it swallows the ATM machine. That's an example of if then else condition. So if it is true, you get the money. If it is false, try another attempt. And if it is extreme, your card gets swallowed. So that's a scenario you can relate to all.
Okay. So we would like to do an example for all of us to see. So what we have here is what is essentially the thing we're talking about. Python, the programming language. So forgive us if the screen goes and comes back. But I would like to do a survey. How many people chose orange for the favorite color? How many chose black? So we have black. Which other color did people select? Was there white? Which color? White. So So we have black, we have white. Which other color we have? Blue. So we want to give an example of this conditional skier. So Denver, will you be willing to type on my behalf? So what I want Denver to do is to say, you see in line 164, if I to give an example, I want Denver to basically say if somebody selected black, send them a certain message. So we have black, black, black. So I think Denver will give a loop. This loop here. So we want to, if the person and the color they selected, so just want to do in Denver here is saying if person dot favorite color is equal to black, then send them you have selected black. Hey, person X, you chose black. That's what we have said, but we'll wait for our screen to come back and then we'll be able to send that. But the idea, that's the idea. That using conditionals, we can be able to build wonderful logic. Thank you. I'm sorry, Denver, the screen has failed us. Maybe Amos, you can guide us on how to find out building block all functions. All functions are. So, in the real world, how would a function look like? For example, if there was something that could act independently, how does that look like in the real world? What kind of functionality can you put in a function? Independent function. Right. So, I hope we have not lost you as the audience. That's why we have our tips. So for that tip, we learned about expressions. Send tip 1. For the next one, send tip 2. For the next one, send tip 3. And for the last one, send tip 4. And you can be able to receive a summary of what we've been learning so far from our panelists. And maybe now, even as we now come to a close, maybe Amos, you can guide us on the final step. So for example, if somebody was to buy this book here in our audience, what is your desire for them? What do you want them to achieve at the end of getting the book, after reading the book?
What was that from them is just good ideas, and then use a programming language to solution those ideas.
Thank you so much. So I think maybe I can open the floor to our panelists. If you are to, what would be your, for anyone who buy this book, how would you recommend that they approach reading the book? So we can start with let's start with Dominic, and then Denver can finish. So if somebody was to get this book, how would you recommend they read it?
To focus more on fundamentals of the programming, the language, more. Don't just focus on the fundamental,
files, how to use it to different libraries. So it's like giving you a guide of how you are supposed to do. When you wake up in the morning, you have to wash your face. After washing your face, brush your teeth. After brushing your teeth, you make tea. After making tea, you maybe brush your shoes, then iron, then get out of your house. So this is how like the book is built from one break to the next break up to a whole house.
Thank you so much. So I would like to now shift the focus to our audience. I understand the topic may have been a bit more technical than usual. Is that true? We cannot, it's a bit more technical. So, what are some of the questions we have? Just regarding whatever we said. Or you can have a comment. You've been receiving SMSs. What have the SMSs been telling you? I can see some people have been receiving SMSs. I see Juliet Ovino. This is Juliet Ovino. Juliet Ovino. Thank you. I see you've been sending the SMSs. I see Elvis Odiambo. I see Elvis there. I see Newton. Okay. So I'm calling your names. Tell us something. What has come to mind? Or what would you think you might want clarity on? I see Joseph Murado. Somewhere. Do you have a question?
My name is Vino, and my question to the answer, I'm not yet read the book. So, as someone who's beginning the journey in perhaps cybersecurity technology, how easy is the writing language you use to write the book to someone new to all this programming and cybersecurity, data technology? Yes. Oh, I repeat. So my question is, how easy is it to understand the language you use to write the book to someone who's new in the technology, programming, etc. field?
Actually, this book belongs to everybody. And then just set the environment and into the coding. You just practice, everything is broken into smaller pieces. And whatever you do, you have the results. We have the exercises, then we have the clinical part of it. Those are some of the things that can enable you to be successful on them, whatever you want to achieve. Actually, the book is very simple for
And why specifically did you choose to write about Python, not Java or C++ or C++?
okay, Python programming language is widely used in various fields, in most cases compared to other languages. On the other hand, it is very easy to understand, and it usually uses fewer lines of code to understand.
My next question will go to Denver, and I'll ask Denver. You've also stated, I've just learned that ChatGPT is a modern. It was formulated from Python, right? So does it mean that when one is using ChatGPT, okay, if I go to ChatGPT and want to learn about Python, is it still going to give me the prompts and the tips the right way as compared to me enrolling in a Python class? Yes.
Yes, thank you so much for your question. First of all, to begin with, ChatGPT is an example of an OpenAI model, and there are a million plus OpenAI models that exist. Of which, to begin with, to answer the question, yes. If you If you don't understand what this book is saying or what each and every language, you are just a prompt user by God. You are the kind of person AI is going to replace you.
Yes, so I would like to, I think it will not be just for us to finish the session without seeing Python in action. So I'll ask my friend to hold the mic on my behalf. And then I will effect the things that we would have achieved when the screen was working. So just, oh, sorry, I just So it's a quick demo of what we've done. So I need the audience to help me on the key concepts. So can anyone remember the first concept we learned? The first building block? If you received the SMS, you have the answer. Expressions. What was the second one? Loops. What's the third one? You checked the SMS. Did you see it? Conditions. The last one? Functions. So Denver talked to us about expressions. Expressions is essentially what we see, what is highlighted. An expression is, and Denver maybe can also clarify. I'll let Denver just say one statement about it. You can use the number. So here, you can maybe explain what this expression is doing.
Yeah, okay, we have here, we see that expressions they're not part of the code, but they give you what you desire to do to achieve from the code. For example, this expression here, this code asks your favorite color, your name and your favorite color.
Yes. Oh, no, the one specifically here, this one on my writing, sorry, I didn't get it properly. The one on my writing.
Line 160.
Yeah, 160, 161, yes.
Oh, okay. This expression is basically pulling data from the Google Sheets that you responded to.
Yes. So thank you so much for that. And then now we're going to go to the next. So that's an expression. The next thing that Dominic shared was loops. So a loop is basically something that allows you to go through a large data set. So we are saying for every person in our list, we want to send them an SMS. So for example, if I was to basically delete that line and effect this code, I need the audience to tell me what message do you want to receive. Do you have a response from the audience? If you want to receive an SMS, what will it be? Do I choose on the example? What SMS do you want to receive? As a text, an example. What we send to everyone? Sorry? Hello? Hello, Elvis. Okay. So, I already said that. Hello, the person. What do I say after that? Hello, Elvis. What do I say? A random thing. Welcome to Bomb Blast. Yes. Welcome to Bomb Blast. So, this is, we're saying for everyone in this room who did this thing, they received this message. So I'll run this. This is what Dominic shared. So if we do that, we'll see that happen. So you can see everyone is receiving that message. So you can see we send a message to Vanik, which is me, to Denver, to Yvonne, to Caroline, Carol, to Newton, to Juliet, to Elvis, to Michael, to Joseph. So in a few moments you'll receive that SMS. So what have we done and looked in that case? The final concept that Amos talked about was conditions. So we need to give a special condition. Somebody, the team black, we want team black to get something special. So what do we do in our code? We come here and we say if the person where the favorite color is equals to black. If the favorite color is black, what do? We want to send them a special SMS. So we can send a special SMS to Team Black and say, good job, Team Black. So you can see here, as we are typing this code, it is almost like English. So And then we are saying, for everyone else, send them your favorite color. So that is our condition. If somebody is in team black, send them good job team black. For everyone else, send them your favorite color is that. So that is the building block that Amos talked about. And the final building block that Amos talked about, which is in his book, is functions. So allow me to repeat what he said. Functions basically allow you to separate pieces of work. So we have one function here already. Thank you, Dominic. So one function we have here is a function that allows you to pull data from our database. That is a function. If you are to go up in our code, we'll see our function defined here. So this function, you can see, it's doing a lot of things. But essentially what it's doing, it's saying, go to Google Docs, get the file from Google Docs, open the file, read the file, and then after you read the file, put all the files in our list called persons. So that is our function. Then I'm sorry if I'm repeating this, is because I know I wouldn't want you to go home and feel like this session was too technical. So if I was to run now this code, I don't know who can maybe give me an anticipation of what will happen based on this code here. Do we have somebody who's courageous enough to tell us what will happen? Somebody from Team Black. Who is in Team Black? And there's somebody in Team Black here. There was her, but I won't let her speak. Somebody from this side. What do you think will happen if we read this code? You can guess, it's okay if you oh, sorry. Oh, let me, somebody can read it. What do you think will happen if we read this code? This highlighted.
I think the person or the members of the team black want to see a message. Telling them their favorite color.
Oh, the favorite color, I think it will actually say the opposite. If you're in black, good job team black, but everyone else will be told their favorite color. Am I right? You're Let's run it. Who is in team black? Who was in team black? Who selected black? Did you select black? Yeah. Who else? I'm not going to ask you to say something. Who else selected black? You selected blue. So now we're going to add something for blue. And I think our engineers can help me. How do I write it here? So it's, if I want to write an N, is it N? Yeah, blue. It's listening. Wow. Good job, team blue. So which other color? There was white. I saw white. So let's do white. So white. So for white, let's change why is your shirt dirty? I'm not speaking to anyone. I'm just because people wear white are very courageous. Where's your shirt dirty? And then let's put in blue. Why is the sky? Why is the sky blue? For Team Black is, let's give them a special message. What does Team Black want to see? Okay, thank you for joining us.
Good evening. I wanted to tell you the form of speech. My study comments will be that everyone else, and that you as me and we lost the book, either master programming concept express and coding skills for everyone. The journey about writing this book was enjoyable. As they are excellent, this book is for everyone to be transformed on how to think about the simple to advancing ideas and to tell the computer how to solve or be solving them. You implement that using a programming language and Python is one of the programming languages. The programming concepts are being expressed and the coding skills demonstrated. Programming is fun. Python is a high-level programming language. We convert our words in natural ways to a high-level language like Python to a high-level language, and then high-level language is converted into lower language that the computer understands, and that is ones and zeros. The Python mastery title of the book tells that you become proficient in Python. The subtitle is Programming Concept Expressed and the Coding Skills for Everyone. The programming concept expressed means that the concept of the programming are explained. The coding skills for everyone means that everyone acquires coding skills in an enjoyable way. Programming is the process of creating instructions that tell the computer what to do. The instructions are written using a programming language. Programming involves several steps, including design, coding, testing, and debugging. Coding is writing actual instructions in a programming language like Python. This book is for everyone. Those who want to have fun, beginners and pro in programming, computer science and information technology or internet theory. This book is easy to understand. As lessons, exercises, and real-world examples, it offers a solid foundation to learn other languages. Programming languages, especially Python, are used in creating AI tools, data science, web development, data analysis, system software, games, mobile, and desktop apps. I thank you very much for attending the event and assisting the debate together. Mulana is the first time playing the camera. Say something.
My name is Amos Mworia, brother to Amos Mworia. First, let me congratulate Mworia because of good work that he has done. He has been working hard for quite some time. Until today, he has written a book by the name Python Mastery. Mworia, we are proud of you. Keep the work running, and there's time in the limit. We are going to buy the book and are going to read it to understand the programming concept and the coding skills. Thank you.
My cousin Montuma is my cousin sister.
Good evening. My name is Joseph. We are here to celebrate something big, something good. We say congratulations and Amos. This is something of a first. The family, we haven't seen this. So this is something that will be done, and it's a door that will open for others, and also for
Asante sana familia kwa kuja. Asanteni sana kwa kumsupport. I was looking for the guy who was handling this. Ni kama ametoka kidogo, but otherwise imefika masaa ya kukatia watu keki, kwa hivyo acha to invite. Unajua mtu kwa familia yenu anaweza kuwa anti mzuri wa keki ama niite Lilian. Ameenda hata ametoka. Nani mwingine anaweza kuwa anti mzuri wa keki? Akusaidia kukata keki. She's around. Haya, tukitafuta mtu wa hizi machine, wacha tutafute Lilian pia. So that you cut cake with us.
Tusiweke sura mbaya sana. Hebu smile. Wow. Kwanza, I'm so much grateful. Congratulations. Na mtu akifanya vizuri anaambia kwa amefanya vizuri ama ni aje. When someone does good, anaambia tu congratulations. Okay? Hebu angalia watu. Hebu mwambieni congratulations. This is a mega achievement. He's my cousin, first class cousin. I'm the family talkative, I talk too much. And I love people. I'm a journalist professionally. And once again, congratulations cousin. Sasa tunataka tukate keki. This is the climax of every occasion. Ama niaje? Hata kuna kata keki sio ukali. The climax of every function ni kukata keki. Si keki kwa smart. Hata mamaji na keki. Cameraman. Jamaa amemaji na keki. Wow, this is great. So, as we celebrate this cake, there is something I would like to tell my cousin. This is not the end of everything. You write many, many, many more. And may God give you the grace to overcome all the obstacles until you break it. You have great people to hold your hand. They are happy for you. They are celebrating your great deeds. So, may the support that they give you, my dear cousin, it will never be in vain. So, in the count of I am saying this, as you cut this cake, may it be the beginning of new beginnings in your life, my dear cousin. As you cut this cake, may you have the breakthrough to overcome all the obstacles that may hinder you from making it. As I conclude, my dear cousin, never despise your humble beginning. Sasa umeanza. Many more coming. Okay? So, where is that? Tushangilieni bana. Ukiona mtu ashangilie, hakuna nini. If you see someone who is not celebrating, basi huyo mtu anasikia. Watu tunasikia hivi. Sasa nataka tushangilie. So I'm very sure that we are happy for this thing, okay? So in the count of order. Breathe in. Kuso. In the count of 1, 2, Congratulations, Cassie. You have achieved it, and by the grace of God, may you make it in Jesus' name. Tushangilie. Yay! I think this thing has traumatized me. Anyway, this way. We are here. Simshangilie jamani yake. Hakiki vinanishtua jamani. Simshangilie yake. Ni muhimu. Ni muhimu. Haki ni hivyo. Kata keki tukule sasa, kata keki. Ai, kata keki, kata keki, kata keki tukule sasa. Hii inasema acha kwa English. Kata keki. Kata keki tukule sasa, kata keki. Kata keki, kata keki tukule sasa. Kata keki tukule sasa, kata keki. Ai. Kata keki wazazi, mama and dad. Mama na dad. Mama, auntie kuja. Haya dad. Wow, congratulations. Congratulations. This is great. Brothers, where's the one? It's okay. Yay! Utatoka wa keki yako. Unapewa. Where's the brother? Kuja kwa mambo yako. You are very shy. Wapea tu wakiwa hapo. Wow. Hadi sasa kila mtu tukipata a piece of cake, unaambia Mungu tu anabariki tu na akate mingi. Apape vitamu mingi. Tukitoka kwa hii tuna launch nyingine pia next year. Ama hususi tuna launch nyingine next year. Make sure unapewa a piece of cake. Pea kila a piece of cake. Everyone should. Kila mtu apate a piece of cake. Kila mtu apate a piece of cake. Yummy cake.
Can I hear celebration?